Hello class, today I'm gonna talk about migration crisis in El Paso, Texas. The migration crisis is a real problem not only in El Paso, Texas. That's a problem in United States, international and global. So, why I'm gonna talk about the migration crisis in El Paso, Texas? Because it's a real problem here in my country, in my so the El Paso, Texas has the most people living Hispanics in United States. Why? Why that? Because El Paso, Texas is a border with Ciudad Juarez, Chihuahua, Mexico. So that affects to El Paso, Texas to bring a lot of migrant people. So the migrant crisis in El Paso, Texas started in April 2022 in the year. That year affects with the COVID-19 because in the other countries affects the COVID-19 affects their money, their works, their a lot of things in other countries, and United States can balance the COVID-19 affect to the United States, but El Paso, Texas, and United States can balance that about the COVID-19. For example, the most people come to El Paso, Texas, the countries that Arabia, Brazil, Mexico is the first one, Venezuelans. So that people come to El Paso, Texas because in their countries they had a violence problems, they have a works problems and the monetary problems. So in the 2024, the most wave to immigrants here, the number to the people crossing to El Paso, Texas was 1,000 people in one day. So that's amazing because El Paso, Texas received people they don't have uh, any registration and any works, any taxes in El Paso, Texas. So that affects why affects the immigration comes to here, because affects to people living, affects the people, the U.S. citizens. Why? Because they take works, they take taxes for us, they take a lot of things, and the violence increased here in El Paso, Texas. The El Paso, Texas, in the past was the most security in El Paso in United States. Sorry. So that affects El Paso, Texas. Sorry. And what's the solution? The solution is check the backgrounds, the people to cross here. The people had good works, and the study background check. Why why that? Because the school is very important to the people to come here to El Paso, Texas, because they had education, uh, they had a background, they had a good background to come to here, to come to work, because they want teachers, they can good workers, but the majority of the people is it's bad. So the statistics, they are there. So the 22.2% of the people work here in El Paso, Texas. The 22.2% is migrant peoples. They work here in El Paso, Texas. It's a 78.8% to U.S. citizens works here. So that's a real problem because affects a lot of people. More and especially affects the U.S. citizens people because they don't have they take your taxes and they take your your works and they affects the people. So in El Paso, Texas, the people, the majority of the people speak Spanish. They affects too. The language affects why? Because the majority people in El Paso, Texas speak Spanish, and that's a real problem because it's United States. So the the majority of the people speak Spanish, and that's a real problem. For example, me, I am U.S. citizen, but I'm born in El Paso, Texas, and I raised in Juarez. So that affects the country. Why? Because I don't speak Spanish. My first language was Spanish. Um, I want to achieve some things, and that affects the country and affects me. Why? Because I can't talk with a lot of people in English, and so that affects for me because I can practice my English, and that's a problem. That's another problem. But yeah, guys, this is my my statement, and thank you for watching my video. Bye, guys.